going down. Bringing all the pet keepers straight out of town. Reptile lovers, cats and all, watchers too. Tune in, y'all, we got the groove for you. Everyday keepers, that's how we roll. Sharing love and knowledge, soul to soul. Grab your leash or tank, let's take control. Come on. Everyday keepers, yeah, we break the mold.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to get through, and you know what, every week I lose track of the numbers, but we're here to get through another episode of Everyday Keepers. You already know, this is Don D with Uptown Exotics. Thank you for being here today. Happy Sunday. The sun was out literally a minute ago, but it has decided to retreat yet again, as it always does. I guess this time it's that time of year. It's that time of year. I need to really just accept that it is the time of year where it's just going to be gray. And I need to get over it. You know how I love, being outside in the summer and in the sun and with all the colors and everything. But I just got to get over the gray and just accept it. But thank you all for being here. I hope you're having an awesome day. If you have not done so already, please make sure to hit that like button, subscribe. You know the deal. Do all the things, and come back every week. We got something going on every week, and I have something going on all the time because my gardening is not just a summer event for me. This is all year round. Yesterday I finished my pollinator beds. I have 3 pollinator beds for, the butterflies and the bees and even some birds that may decide to visit. And that was some work. And my back is telling me that it was some work. And my back's not happy with me, but I'll be happy in the spring when these flowers start to bloom. I did put some seeds down. There are some seeds that need to be cold, need cold stratification in order to germinate. So I had to put them down so that they can go through the winter and do their thing. So I'm excited to see them. One of the seeds that I planted, it's for a flower called hollyhock. And hollyhocks come in many different colors, but what I did not realize is hollyhock can get up to like 7 or 8 feet tall. So this is going to be a good one. I'm excited to see that, and excited to see everything because there's going to be so much. So make sure you stay tuned to all of the gardening adventures, whether they're naked or not. You'll never know. Well, never mind. I'm not even gonna say anything else. But yeah, just hang on, stay tuned, subscribe, and watch along and see what happens. Now I know every week for the past couple of weeks I've talked about Niger Grill, the spice mix, and I'm going to talk about it every week until each and every one of you tells me that you ordered some Niger Grill. and I know somebody in my chat right now has ordered some Niger Grill, and I thank you for that. Raphael, thanks you for that. This seasoning, it's different. It is different. Seriously, I have not used salt in over 2 weeks. I've used this every day for the past 2 weeks. I have not touched salt. Now there is salt in this, but it's very low in sodium compared to the other all-purpose seasonings. So I am extremely, extremely in love with this. Yesterday, I made sweet potato fries. And yes, the sweet potatoes came from my garden. My garden. And they're purple sweet potatoes, so you already know. You already know. They were so good. They were so good. And I had the Niger Grill extra hot seasoning mix on. And the combination of the sweet with the sweet potato and the spice with the heat with the spice mix. It was so good. It was so good. It's also great on wings. I need to order some more or buy some more wings because I'm telling you, I've been eating it on the wings and it's really good on wings. I made ground beef and it was the best ground beef I've ever tasted. It's just, and it tastes different on the different foods. That it's like it brings out, because there's such a mix of spices inside, it brings out the different flavors depending on what you're cooking. It's great. You're not going to need anything else. I see Orlando and TJ said your spice arrives in the garage this week. Yes, it will, and you're going to love it. I can't wait to hear you talk about it. But let's say hi to folks. T-Key's already saying hi to folks. He's ready to go. He said, come on, say hi to the chat. What's up, Posty? Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. There they are. ENT, Lando, and Terrell. You already know. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Jay, what is up? Thank you for being you hear him. Smash that like button, subscribe, turn on the notifications, and let's go. Let's go. Thank you for being here, Jay. Brave, good morning, good afternoon. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Absolutely. Well, we are Jay, you gotta run. All right, well, go run, meet up with some people, and catch the replay. Because we'll still be here. Well, I won't still be here, but it'll be, the replay will be there. Catch the replay. And anybody else that's catching the replay, hit that hashtag replay gang in the comments and make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. And everybody that's here, thank you for being here. I'm sure some people will roll in. I guess people getting ready for that big old Eagles-Dallas game. I know T-Keys is. If you know, you know. But if you also know, got him. If you also know, we got some folks to thank and show some appreciation to. So if we can, roll that sponsor video.
Lindworm Exotics specializes in a multitude of reptiles such as ball pythons, duemoral boas, coastal rosy boas, and false water cobras, to name a few. They are dedicated to providing the public with well-adjusted animals with superior quality. Follow them on Instagram and Morph Market. Black Box Reptile Cages should be your go-to for high-quality reptile enclosures and rack systems. They offer versatile hatchling and adult racks that work with both Vision and Freedom Breeder tubs, as well as a wide range of terrestrial, arboreal, and bioactive cages. Located in Beaufort, Georgia, Black Box Reptile Cages offers local pickup as well as ship and freight. Check them out at blackboxcages.com and use code WhiskeyBomb25 for 5% off. Selected Reptiles works with a wide range of genetic combos, including Hypo-VPI Xanthic, DG-VPI Xanthic, and Zebra, but where they stand out is their work with Monsoon, Monarch, Sunset, and other high-end morphs. In addition to reptiles, they produce premium feeder rodents delivering to Florida, Georgia, and North and South Carolina. Make sure to use promo code WhiskeyBomb5 for 5% off any snake. Check them out on Morph Market or reach out directly. From fur to feathers, Fuzzy Acres has your feeder needs covered. Whether you're looking for frozen rats, bulk rabbits, or harder to find feeders like quail and guinea pigs, they've got the stock serious keepers rely on. Visit fuzzyacres.com for clean, healthy feeders that are frozen and shipped with care. Remember to use code WhiskeyBomb10 to save 10% on any order, and as always, enjoy free shipping on all orders over $300. Grant and Mary of Rec Room Snakes have been breeding ball pythons and Woma pythons for over a decade. They're staples within the ball python realm and most notably known for their work with the paint mutation and putting it to multiple codoms and recessives to truly unlock its potential. Please give them a follow on Morph Market to check out their incredible animals and on Instagram to keep up with their projects. Ninja Balls is more than a breeder, he's a creator. He's the innovative thinker that brought you the Kiki Ball. He strives to make living works of art and improve upon them year in and year out. Follow him today on Instagram at Morph Market and know that with each purchase you make, you're getting quality.
Bone Daddy Serpents is just getting started in the ball python industry, but he has major plans involving high-end genes such as Monarch and Sunset. Please keep an eye out on him because his passion and determination is going to take him very far within this industry.
And do we have one more? I guess not. If we do, it'll cut me off. But thank you to all of the sponsors, and thank you to everybody working behind the scenes to keep this show and all of the Whiskey Nation shows running smoothly. I am excited about today's guest. Mitzi, thank you for joining us today. You're going to love today's guest. I think all of you are going to love today's guest. It's going to be an interesting. I'm going to learn a lot. I'm going to tell you that right now. I'm going to learn a lot because I didn't know people kept prairie dogs in the house, for one thing. That's what I was waiting for. Thank you to all of the sponsors once again. But yes, who knew that people kept prairie dogs in the house? And I can't wait to learn all about them. So without further ado, let's bring out the prairie dog lover, Heather, and her little prairie dogs. Or we can just look at me. I'm fine with that. I don't mind. I don't mind. And I don't see any comments in the chat. Are we good? Nothing there. Oh, there's one person in the studio. Are we not? Or did we lose her? I don't even know if T Keys is here. So I am going home. Let me check my messages and make sure we didn't lose her. Oh, now I see two people in the studio. I hope we didn't lose her. I hope we didn't lose her. There is a T. Well, we shouldn't have lost T Keys. She's messaging me now. You can hear me? Okay. All right, we must have lost T Keys. I hope T Keys is okay. He was on his phone. I know he's at the airport or traveling somewhere. Wherever he was outside, and it was looking nice and bright and sunny. Oh, there's Prop. There he is.
Oh, I'm going through TSA.
Ah.
So I'm gonna disappear for a minute while I go through taking off all my stuff. I'm gonna bring her back out.
Okay. Is Heather still with us? There she is.
Yep.
All right. Now there we go. Now it popped up.
Hi, can you hear me now?
There we go. Now we can hear. Yes. Yes. Now we are good. Hello, Heather.
Hello. How are you?
Thank you. I'm great. How are you?
Good. We are good.
Good,
Yeah, my
good. Thank you
husband.
for joining us today.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on. We're excited to show off these lovely little furry thugs.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, for everyone that is joining us today that's not familiar with you, can you just give them a brief introduction?
Sure. My name's Heather. I first got prairie dogs in 1996 when they first came into the pet market.
Wow.
I was very unknowledgeable at the time and went through several of them, learned as much as I could back just then when like Yahoo Groups was starting, the beginning of the internet. It was there that I met most of the exotic
Right now, I'm lagging.
pet friends. Are you still lagging?
I'm not now. I think I'm good now. Okay.
Okay. So it's there that I learned a lot of knowledge on them from various exotic owners. Are you behind again?
Nope, I'm good. You're good.
Okay. So there I had a friend that owned a bunch of exotics. She had like fennec foxes and kinkajous and prairie dogs and educated me, got connected on Yahoo Groups with a ton of people that had just started getting them. Fell in love with them instantly in the pet store. They were just these little tiny things in a cage, and I put my finger in the cage and all they wanted to do was climb over each other to touch me. And I was like, I don't know what they are, but I want them. Fell completely in love with them. About 2 years later, started rescuing them from other owners that had got them from the pet market, but also didn't know much about them. And after having them a short time, decided that it wasn't the pet for them because they're not like a cat or dog. You can't train them. You can train them somewhat, but they're going to do their natural behaviors. They can be quite destructive. You have to watch their signs. You can get hurt. They can bite hard.
Cool.
It's not fun when they do. I've been bitten over the years. I hadn't for a long time. I had stopped rescuing in 2020 due to some life situations. And then we started rescuing again in 2022. We now have 6 right now. Our latest came just about a month ago, Pippin. We'll show you him. He's a big boy. He's on a diet right now. He's got to lose a little bit of weight.
So people actually have them as pets?
They do. They're allowed in the pet market. Now, some states won't allow you to have them. But I'm here in Illinois, you can have them. And this is Pippin. He's our biggest boy.
Oh, look at Pippin.
He's a lover. He just wants to be cuddled and hugged, and he's learning. He's getting associated with the other ones. There's an integration process that happens. You can't just throw them all in together. They have to kind of get to know each other and get to know their new environment. He came fortunately with his cage. His owners, we met. His owners are from Texas. They met us halfway to pick him up. And then we transported him back here with his cage, put him in his cage, kept him alone, started loving on him, giving him bathroom time. So we take him in the bathroom where it's kind of isolated and they're confined and they get to know you and you get to know them. And he's settling in quite well here. Oh,
that's awesome. Yay.
Yeah.
And it looks like we have someone viewing that's a previous owner.
Awesome.
She's new. Her name is Rue. Well, at least her username is Rue. New to me, so welcome, Rue. That is so interesting. I'm assuming that Pennsylvania, because I'm in Pennsylvania, I'm assuming we're one of the states that does not allow them. Ruth is her name. Hi, Ruth. Doesn't allow them as pets because I've never seen or heard of anybody in Pennsylvania having prairie dogs as pets.
Yeah, I'm not sure of which states you can't have them in. I'm sure there's those. Oh, I know who Ruth is. I actually dropped off a cage to Ruth many, many, many years ago.
Oh,
We're
nice.
Friends.
Very good.
Yeah, she was a good prairie dog owner.
Very good.
How do they talk to each other?
So
How do they recognize
just
each other?
just some things about them. They each have their different personality. Like he's a snuggle bug and he'll sit with me all day if I let him. Like yesterday we were watching the Notre Dame game, and he just sat on the couch in my lap and just sat there, didn't want to do anything else.
I love that. I
Um,
love that.
yeah.
Now, are they rodents? 'Cause I
They are
don't know
rodents.
anything about. I mean,
Yes.
I know they dig in the ground and stuff and pop up out of holes.
Yeah. That's what most people know about them.
Yeah, because the only time I've seen them was in a zoo. A local zoo had, and I'm sure they still do, have prairie dogs. That was the first and only time I've ever seen prairie dogs.
Yeah. I've only seen them a couple times in the zoo. We were at the Kansas City Zoo. We thought they had them, and they don't anymore. So we
Okay.
were looking over the whole zoo for them, and they weren't in existence there. But they have a lot of interesting things about them. Like they communicate by
Yeah.
different calls.
Yeah.
They have a very intricate language. Like if there's they don't just go, oh, there's danger. Their language allows them to identify the danger, like, oh, guy in blue shirt has a gun. Or hawk approaching, or some other predator that they have. So
Mhm.
you'll hear different. Hopefully, we'll get them to bark during this podcast. But they have different calls. Like if they're angry, they'll chitter. So there's different signs that you can see on them as well. Their tail will flare. If they're angry, if they're happy, you'll see when they'll move their tail to one side or the other. That means they're very comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, I saw on one of your videos, one had his face like almost through the bars and was cheering.
Yes, that's Pip. That's Pip. He's currently here. He's currently on isolation because he's not a nice boy these days.
Oh.
Usually when they get fixed, they're nicer, the boys. There.
Okay.
But he kind of had the opposite reaction. So he has a former cage mate that we also have, and I think because of their initial start, they were at a rescue that not a rescue, but a rehabilitation center with some other animals that were kind of prey to. So I don't think they were very comfortable, and they were kept in a cage outside. So there was a lot of people that came by them. So I think he became protector of the girl. And when we first adopted, we first adopted the girl, and he had a different home. And then about a month or so later, the previous owner said, we got him back. Would you come adopt him? And we said, of course. And we took him in, and then he got territorial again. So he's separate, but we allow him visitors, just not Squeaks, his former cage mate, but we'll put Tay in there, or Felix or Lucky. Felix and Lucky were the first two rescues that we got when we started rescuing again in 2022. They're very sweet. Another thing you may or may not know about rodents, but their teeth continuously grow.
Mhm.
So they need to be chewing on things all the time, which is one of the reasons why they're destructive. So we'll let them out, and we'll probably let them out during this podcast on the floor, but you have to be watching them, or else you may have new decorations in your walls that you don't want, or they might chew an electrical cord, or anything in between. You never know what they're going to get into. So we keep a close eye on them. We have a barrier. We have a door that we close and a barrier that we close off the other room from. We also have a rescue mini Australian Shepherd who used to be
Oh, I have frozen again.
back up.
Yes.
Okay. So we
StreamYard
think
doesn't
this.
have a computer.
I know. Understandable. We think that Violet is her name. We think Violet thinks they're her puppies, because when she plays around in the room with them, she'll kind of gather them, or put her paw on them very gently, but wants to be interactive with them, or else she'll sit outside the door and whine. So we let her.
Oh my goodness.
be involved.
That's cute.
Yeah, and the
Jamie,
prairie
thank
dog.
you for joining us.
Yeah, the prairie dogs like her too. Like they'll go up and they'll clean her paws, or chase her around. But they're very friendly with her too. None of them have ever tried to bite her.
Oh, that's cute. Now, how many do you have?
We have 6. So we
Okay.
have Felix, Lucky, then came Tay, then came Squeaks, then came Pip, and then we recently got Pippin.
He lost his cage mate.
Yeah, Pippin came to us, was from a very loving home. His cage mate passed,
Oh,
and his cage mate was much older, and they weren't ready to start the process again, because a lot of times when they're by themselves, I mean, you can have them by themselves. We've always found that it's much more enjoyable for them to be in more than one, so two or more, as long as you can manage it. And they're not the pet for everybody.
absolutely. And happy birthday, Jamie. Yes, you're allowed to be late. It's your birthday. Don't let it in though. And Patrick, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you. And you here, Patrick, hit that like button, subscribe, all the things. So they prefer to be in, do we call them packs or herds?
Coterie. It's called a coterie when you have more than one.
Coterie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And they prefer to be in groups.
They do. In the wild, you'll find a town of them. So it's a town of them. If you have several coteries like the family group, and you'll find that there's a gazillion. I mean, if you find them in the wild, we've seen some towns live. I've also helped actually relocate many years ago, probably like 15 years ago, helped relocate a town in Texas, because they were digging up a soccer field at a university, and the university didn't want them anymore. They were going to poison them, and we said, no, don't do that. We'll find somewhere else to bring them. So we took them on, and we moved them to their new habitat. It was very successful.
Oh, good. Why is poisoning the solution? Why can't we find a way to move them and not go to that as?
I think a lot of people think they're a nuisance. There's a lot of myths out there about, like, they can't coexist with farmers because they eat all the grass, or the cows fall in their holes, and both of those are absolutely false. So first of all,
holes?
Yeah, right. Like, cows aren't smart enough to watch where they're walking, but also they're not just holes, they're mounds. Like, they mound up the dirt and then make a hole, because it's to help, keep the rain from going in their holes. It's from, there's a number of reasons. So they can watch for their predators. So that was one of the myths. The other one was that, they eat all the grass, so the cows can't have it, which is inaccurate, because they actually make the vegetation healthier for the other animals around it. I mean, they're a keystone species in the prairie. They support like more than 150 animals just by existing.
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, so they have a number of predators that are out there with them as well. The black-footed black-footed ferret, coyotes, badgers, snakes, hawks, and eagles. So they're part of, the natural environment that, other animals need to exist. They also, because of the intricate houses they build underground, other animals also use those for their burrows. So they're helpful to other animals, like burrowing owls. They're helpful to, and also the black-footed ferret, because they can use their house, but they can also use them as food. Unfortunately, everybody's in that chain somewhere.
Yeah.
But
now, are black-footed ferrets larger than
yes,
groundhog? They are. Okay. I know the ferrets that people keep as a pet, but I didn't know there was a black-footed ferret that.
Yeah. There's all different kinds. Like, we have a black-tailed prairie dogs are the ones we have. One of ours looks actually a little bit more like a Richardson ground squirrel, which is very much similar to the prairie dogs, in the same family. But with regard to their home too, they're very intricate in how they build it. So they build a home like we have a home. So there's a portion, there's tunneling system that goes down for miles. And they have small, like, holes into the side of that tunnel that's like, one's the kitchen where they store food, one's the bathroom, one's the sleeping quarters, so they're very intricate, animals.
So with all that intricacy going on? Are they intelligent animals? Are they? I mean,
Very.
like rats are very intelligent, and if they're a rodent, I would imagine.
Yes, yes,
There
they're
as
very
well.
intelligent. Hence, their very elaborate communication system. So they with communicating, so they will communicate with certain calls to the other like coteries that are in the same town. So if one of them sees danger, they'll stand up and they'll give the warning cry so that all of the other families know that there's danger as well.
That is so cool. They have a little alarm
Mhm.
system.
Yes, they absolutely have an alarm system. And we know too. So they're by the window in our house. I always try to keep them.
I love that. That is so much fun. I don't want a prairie dog, but I see T keys and then T keys went away. All right, I think we're good. I see the dog
Okay.
moving.
So we keep them by the window. I've
There we
always
go. There we go.
better.
Depth perception.
Yep,
Are you good?
I'm good. I'm good right now.
Okay. Okay.
Just keep talking, and
Okay. Okay.
I'll catch
So
up at some point.
Okay, we keep ours. We always have a cage by the window. We want them to be able to see outside. But we don't, we want them to be protected from the outside as well. We do take them outside sometimes in a cage that they're protected because the predators out there could actually get them and they get a lot nervous actually. But we want them to be like on the grass, to be able to eat some of that grass, to be able to feel the breezes and stuff like that. But mostly, they're next to the window so they can see outside without any chance of danger. In the last house I owned, we had several instances where there would be a hawk sitting in a tree right next to the window where their cage was. We actually had a hawk
Oh,
fly into the window one time trying to get them. Fortunately, there was a window there.
thank goodness for the window.
Yes.
And
yes.
ENT asked, how many live together in the wild? Is there like
There's
large groups?
I couldn't tell you the answer to that. Lots and like hundreds, if not thousands. The last time we were driving back from California, I think, their land's being taken up, so they have to find homes where they can. And we stopped at a
Right.
gas station, and in between the gas station and like the railroad tracks, there was a huge town because that land wasn't being used. But unfortunately, it was kind of cold, so none of them came out for us to see them. But
Oh. Yeah, they're truck drivers, ENT, and
Yeah.
they saw some when they went out to out west. So I'm
yes,
assuming
they're
they
in.
saw some towns.
Yeah, they're in a lot. So when the on and off ramps, you know how there's that empty, grassy space in between those. We see them a lot there when we're driving to Colorado. Yeah, they find wherever they can,
That's a safe spot until they change the highway.
right? Or they decide to run across the street.
Oh yeah, there's that. Poor guys. That is so. What got you into prairie dogs?
Well, as I was mentioning before, when I first saw them in the pet store, I didn't know what they were. I'm an animal lover. I always have been. I didn't know what they were, and they just wanted to climb over each other to be able to, like, smell my finger. And I was like, oh, okay. So we got two, and they were just so interesting and so different than like a cat or a dog.
Right.
And if I can get, they're probably not gonna bark because we want them on command. Come here, Lucky. Oh, I was gonna get
Gonna get lucky.
Elias, thank you for joining us. Looks like she's going to get one of those baby dogs right now for you, Elias. He's going to want one or
Okay.
10.
This is Lucky. She's the sweetest girl that we have.
Hi, Lucky. They're just
And-
so cute.
Yeah, and we can hand. So we're very cautious with. Were you make some noise? No, I heard it. I felt it. We can hand her to anybody. Oh, Pippin's okay. Pippin's deciding he wants to clean Violet a little too hard. Violet's not having it. It's a standoff. We can hand Lucky to anybody that comes over. Like, she is so sweet that she's never tried to bite anybody. She's
Yeah.
just gentle. That's not the case with all of them. You know, I would, well, I don't tell anybody to put their fingers near Pip at all. But Lucky will also, like, at night, if I'm watching TV and I have a sweatshirt on, I'll take her and put her in my sweatshirt and she'll burrow down my arm and fall asleep and just stay there for hours. Do you want to go down?
Aw. That's just so much fun.
Maybe we can get you on the floor.
Yeah, Orlando. So in the mounds, is it like one family in a mound, or could it be several
Typically,
families?
it could be several families, but I think they tend to try to stick to themselves. I mean, they're all
Okay.
in a town together, so they do interact, but I believe that the families stick together. But then there's various, like, there can be, 10,000 different, systems within one field. You're only seeing the there's usually two entrances so that they can enter and exit at either place. Who's getting in trouble?
And
Where's
you
the water
said
bottle?
they burrow like. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no. One of them was scratching at something for our, when we try to deter them, we spray them with a water bottle. That changes
Gotcha.
what they're doing. So they stop trying to tear up the carpet or chew through the wall. I'm sorry, what was your question?
Oh, in the when you said they burrow, that they
Mhm.
make tunnels for like miles. You said,
Yes.
do they?
Yes.
Like
Very.
burrowing down, or do they go like out for miles? Or
Both.
How do they?
No, they don't go down for miles. They'll go down far enough and then they'll burrow side to side and, wherever they can find room.
Wow, I did not realize that. That's so wild.
Yeah.
Now,
And
where in the country are they normally found?
I knew you were going to ask me that question, so I looked it up again just to make sure I was right. Colorado, Wyoming, South Dakota, Montana, Nebraska, New Mexico, and smaller families or towns in Utah and Kansas.
Okay. So more in the Midwest. So I've never seen
Yes.
any here.
No, you would not see any in Pennsylvania, that's for sure.
but we
And
have
in the
groundhogs.
wild, yes. Oh yeah, we have groundhogs here too. In the wild, they live to be about 3 to 5 years old due to the predators that are out there.
Wow.
We've had one live to 13 because there's
Oh,
no
wow.
predators in our
Okay.
house and we feed them well.
Absolutely. Yes, they do make the cutest little sounds, but nobody wants to make any sounds right now.
I know. Usually,
Are
if we
they-
clank something, they'll. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was going to ask if they're normally vocal or if they stay quiet.
They're vocal if they hear something. It's just interesting right now that they're not being vocal because there's like one door in our house that if you open, they yahoo, or if you sneeze from the other room, all of a sudden you hear a bunch of yahoos. They're just not. I wonder if we can clank on that glass. That one was something. Nope. They're just. There you go.
I heard
There
it.
you go, Squeaks. Good girl. Good girl. She's like, oh, don't touch me. Squeaks is the most timid of the ones that we have. Like, she'll let you pet her a little bit, and then she like runs away. But she also, we give them, we stick clothing through the cage every day. You'll see it's a hot mess. But we do that so that they have something to do all day. So they'll pull in that clothing all day. At the end of the day, we'll pull it out. We'll give it to them again. When I first had a prairie dogs, I used to take a comforter and throw it on the floor. They were actually had the whole part of our bedroom, and he would take all day to push that comforter under the bed. All day. That was his job. And then
That was just
yeah. And then at night we would take it out, and the next morning we'd throw it on there again. And that's what he would do all day, because they're naturally in the wild, they're digging and building nests. The females more so than the males, but the males will do it too. But they'll gather, different stuff from their cage. They'll take that clothing, they'll put it into their nest so they can sleep in it at night.
that is so awesome. Yeah, Elias, she was saying that they do interact with her dog that you see
Mhm.
walking around there, and yeah, and they play and all that good stuff. I would love to. Do you have videos of them playing?
You know what? I don't, but we're gonna take them out. Except for Pip. Pip's gonna stay in the cage. But we're gonna adjust this camera so you can see better floor level. And they may start interacting with each other. Hey, Squeaks, the door's open. There you
Beware
go.
of dog.
And like I said, they all have their own personalities. So, Squeaks will go and, hide behind the couch or get into trouble somewhere. And Felix will just want to be loved. Where's Felix?
He's up there.
Oh, Felix, come out.
There's fun stuff going on, bud. Come on.
And remember what I was telling you about the teeth growing constantly.
Mhm.
So
Yes.
Felix had a trauma, I don't know, a year or so ago where he fell, and because they have no depth perception, he fell and hurt his mouth. We thought we were going to lose him. He was at the vet, and they had called us to come in and put him down. And by the time we got there, the vet said, this is amazing. I gave him some pain medicine, and all of a sudden he did, a 180 turn, and he's going to be fine.
Oh, good.
And we were like, oh, well, yay. Because he was the first one that my husband like totally fell in love with. And I think it's because he's a male and he likes having other males in the house. But so since then, Felix has his teeth, he doesn't have bottom teeth to chew down the top teeth. So we have to take him into the vet to get his top teeth. His top teeth cut down every once in a while so that so they can still eat. I'm gonna show your teeth. You can show it.
Elias wants to know who's the bully of the group. You said that was Pip. Is that what
Pip,
his name was?
yeah. Tay's the alpha. She was the biggest one. Can you show your teeth, Beth? See, they're in about. Actually, it's his bottom teeth that are growing. His top teeth he's missing. They're about time to get trimmed down. But he can still eat. He can still eat. We feed them hay as much as they want. We feed them
That's gonna be
pellets,
my next question.
which are made of hay. And then they're by Expo. And then once an evening for dinner, they get kale, romaine, snap peas, a little bit of sweet potatoes, and a little bit of carrots. Hi,
Nice.
Hi.
Love the sweet potatoes.
They do too. That's why we have to, only give them so much because, yeah, portion control is huge, or else they will be huge.
Oh, I bet. Now, do you grow your own vegetables for them, or do you get them from the store?
We get them from the store. In the summer, we try to grow kale, but didn't work out so well this summer.
See, I have this year I did my own garden for the first time, and if I had animals that ate vegetables out of the garden, my garden would be like so much bigger.
Yeah.
so we could all eat.
Our next house.
Well, at our next house, we're planning to do that. My husband retires next year, and wherever we decide
Nice.
to move after that, we will grow our own garden. We
There
have
you go.
troublemakers. Sit. Trying to chew through the wall. Hi, Tay. Hi, Big Tay.
They are busy little creatures.
She's like, nope. Of course, Felix is
Look
That's his favorite spot to be. Flowering, their scent glands that pop out every now and then.
Okay,
The male.
they have scent glands.
Say that again.
Exactly. Jamie. I said they do have scent glands.
Oh. But the males go into rut once a year, which is not fun. So we get all of our males neutered, and the females, we don't get spayed, but we think that might be part of the problem why Pip is so angry most of the time, is because the females are not spayed.
Okay.
But yeah, they're active little ones. One's trying to climb up in the chair right now, but not quite tall enough.
Here, exercise. Figure calisthenics.
They have several wheels in their cage. Some of them are wheel runners. In fact, I feel like we could probably power our house with how much some of them run in the wheel. We could figure out how to make that work.
Oh, is that what that is right beside your head there almost?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big wheel.
That's a big wheel, my goodness.
Yes. It's called a chin spin. It's what's recommended for them because of their body size. We do have a couple smaller wheels. I should actually say too that this cage that they're in was custom made for some friends of ours that used to be a rescue in Moni, Illinois. They have since moved to Colorado and were kind enough to gift us this cage.
Oh,
So that we could have, the bunches or however many we're going to end up with. I think the most they had in there at one time were 13.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. They were a rescue as well for many years. And when they left town, they gave the exotic vet my number. And so we've gotten a couple calls.
Okay.
Or you have to was a
Yeah.
good vet.
Yeah. It's important to have an exotic vet that knows about prairie dogs. They can't just go to a
Yes.
regular vet. I know early on when we had them, we took one of the males in to be neutered, and it wasn't a very knowledgeable vet. And she ended up cutting him open, not being able to find what she was looking for, and sewing him back closed.
No.
Yeah,
That's
right.
not good.
No. So now we use Ness Exotic in Lyle, Illinois. He's very knowledgeable. Known him for years, pretty much since I owned Prairie Dogs. I used to work with his prior partner, Dr. Nye, and then he opened his own vet. And actually, Dr. Nye does some work for him every now and then.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to have a special license to be a rep to rescue, or
Not in Illinois, but I think in some states you might have to. I know for a while after the whole scare with the plague that the prairie dogs were supposedly, supposedly spreading, which they weren't. It actually came from like a Gambian rat or another species that then, infected a prairie dog. But for a while you had to get like a letter from the USDA or somewhere. I know for one or two that I rescued, I had to have some special letter.
Okay.
But they can spread whatever they have, because they when they greet each other, they greet by touching their teeth together. So they're so they're kissing all the time.
All right, for the kissing cousins.
All right.
Watching them run back and forth is so funny. and nipping at the dog's
Yeah.
feet. Hi, Brittany. Thank you for joining us. Appreciate you.
I'm trying to
Everybody
think of
that's here, please make sure you are hitting that like button. Subscribe if you're not already subscribed. Anybody watching the replay, please leave a comment, #ReplayGang, and also like, subscribe, all the good stuff.
what are you squeaking about.
So what's the maximum that you would have? The maximum number.
That's up to my husband.
That's fair.
I was fortunate when we started rescuing again because he had never rescued before.
I'm a rookie.
Yeah, he's a rookie. I had rescued in my previous marriage, and so in the beginning, when he was on a fishing trip, two became available for adoption, and I had already actually two had become available for adoption, and I found a friend that I work with that actually had had two prairie dogs, and her husband were willing to take those on. Well, when the second set came up, I'm like, I can't ask them to do that again. So
Right.
I said, well, maybe we can take them in. And I asked my husband if we could foster them for a while. And so he said, sure. So when he came home from his fishing trip, he said, how long are we fostering them? And I said, well, until they die. And from there we grew. Then came Tay, who she was maybe a little squawky. Yeah. Who's that? Lucky?
No, that's Felix.
Oh. So then came Tay, which our friends, we were actually on our way back from Colorado, and she was coming from Michigan, and we couldn't be there when we needed to. So our friends that adopted the first two that we had, the husband actually went and picked her up in Michigan. So when we came back from Colorado, we stopped at their house to get them, and they're like, she's evil. She's just pure evil. Like, she's chittering at them. She's huge. I mean, until we got Pippin. Pippin's bigger than her. She was the biggest one we had. And so then we took her home. Oh, we took her home. I have to show you. It's now an all-out fight.
Oh my goodness.
Be
They are
nice,
the true
guys.
ankle biters.
Yes. And you can see the tails flared. See how his tail's flared? That's a sign that they're not the happiest that they could be. But yeah, so we picked up Tay and we brought her home, and then she is a complete lover now. And our friends they cannot even believe that she is so sweet. Because she was so evil when they had her.
Oh, that's funny.
Oh.
Now, is it easier to tell them apart?
Get off the computer.
I can tell them.
Yeah, you can tell. There's a couple that I get mixed up every once in a while. But they're like Sweeks is the smallest, and she's lighter colored. She's the one that looks kind of like a Richardson ground squirrel, and the most skittish.
Okay.
Pippin is by far the largest, and we keep him separate most of the time. He gets to visit in the big cage for now until he gets acclimated. Pip's by himself, so that's an easy one. Oh, there's Pippin. Lucky and Felix sometimes they do. So when I feed them at night, sometimes like one of them will just sit in there and eat, and I'm like, how is everybody else supposed to get food if you're sitting on the food? We have a special trick to get them in the cage at night, which Patrick's going to show you right now. They love Cheerios. Go on, Squeaks.
Look at them. They're all just...
Oh, now you'll get some squeaking too because, you might want to give Pippin his own bowl. He's not used to it yet.
Yeah, I heard a little squeak sounded like my dog's toy.
Yeah. Wait until they get low in the bowl, then they'll start squeaking at each other to get here. Give me some for Pip. Because I know you can't come out, bud, but you deserve Cheerios too.
Aw. Right, Mitzi, they are the cutest. They are the cutest.
They are super cute, but like I said, they can also. Oh, what's that? You don't want Cheerios? You're behind. They can be aggressive, so they can bite hard and they can like stitch worthy hard. And it's not.
Yeah, I don't need any of that. I
No.
definitely don't need that.
Oh, Violet, do you want some Cheerios too?
Violet said, "You can't leave me out. I'm a dog too, just not the prairie kind."
Right. Yeah. So I don't know if anybody has
She's
any.
really good with him, though.
She is.
Say
She
again?
is. Oh, I was gonna say I don't know if anybody else has any questions that they want to ask or something I haven't covered. Violet keeps your big booty out of.
Not that I can think. I think you answered everything that I wanted. Elias, you always have questions. What questions you got?
Violet, go get him.
Elias will have to look and see if you can have some in Tennessee.
Yeah, I don't know off the top of my head about Tennessee.
That's one of our options for retirement.
Oh, yeah, I think we can. I think you can because I think we were only looking at states to retire that we can keep them with us.
Ah,
And
there you
Tennessee was
go.
one of the options.
There you go. Yeah, that would definitely narrow down where you want to live or where you can live.
Yeah, absolutely. And especially, well, and the other thing we would look for immediately when we find out where we're going is an exotic vet that's knowledgeable.
We're gonna find the vet first and then decide where we're living.
I
That's
guess
smart.
you heard it.
That is smart. Find the vet first.
Yeah, yeah. You can
Make-
see
make-
he's totally now in love, even though I kind of convinced him to get the process started.
Yeah, these are the most loving creatures I've ever met in my entire life. I've had dogs, I've had ball pythons, I've had bearded dragons, but these are the snuggliest, loving creatures I've ever met.
And they seem very snuggly. I mean, I snuggle with my ball pythons. They don't want to most of the time, but they tolerate it.
Right. Yep. Well,
Since she's yes, she does, Elias.
Yeah. Yeah, she does. I didn't know if it was because she was a herding dog or because she thought they were her puppies. But she'll like put her paw on their back and kind of get them to, go in the direction she wants them to. Oh, here's the
That is
fighting.
so funny. What's up, Jay? Thank you for being here today. Appreciate you. Well, whether I can or can't, it will happen. Oh, you'll. I have no doubt that you're going to call me one day and be like, "Father Don, I got me a prairie dog." You're going to need two, Elias. They need to
Yes.
have a friend.
Yes.
So you need two.
And they need a lot of interaction. Like we can't just leave them in the cage all day, like every day, and just give them food. Like they need the human connection. Like they need to be petted. They need to be touched. They need to be taken out of the cage. They need this playtime that we let them run around the floor. They need that interaction. They can't just be left. Like I wouldn't even know what other animal to equate it with that you could just leave in a cage and it's okay. But no, they definitely need
Ball
interaction.
python.
Okay.
yep. Yep.
Yeah, and they you'll see them like because they're by the window when the sun's shining in, they'll all like sunbathe and lay out like all dramatic, just get all of that sun on them. It's hilarious,
Oh,
and in a
that's
pile too. Like they have no sense of personal space. Like they'll walk on your face. They don't care.
Oh, okay. So they're kind of like a cat in that sense.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think they like people more than cats do.
Yes, yes. I would. Just from watching today, I would agree. I would agree with that. So, Elias, you just need a permit to have a prairie dog in Tennessee. So there you go. There you go. Get your permit.
Try rescuing them
That's
first.
going to be funny.
Yeah, I will say that, with us being a rescue, we have found that and to know, this is no disrespect to anybody that's trying to rehome their animal, but we have found that, they only mate once a year. So they come in the pet market like early in the year, I think February, March, April is when you can get the babies. And about this time every year, we hear of tons of rehomings, and whether it's because life situations changed or because they didn't realize what they were getting into, for a number of reasons. So that's why we're happy to be a rescue again, and we would never buy one from a pet store. We just try to help the families out that need a good
Find a-
final home
Yeah.
for them, because they'll never go in.
Right.
They'll stay here until they die.
Thank you. Be
Bye-bye.
easy. Appreciate you for stopping by. So yeah, Elias, look for people that are trying to rehome. Don't get it from a pet store.
Yeah. And there's plenty of them out there. And I'm sure like with any other, group on, like we have tons of groups on Facebook that, you know, talk about
Help each
that,
other out.
help each other out, because some people, you have to be knowledgeable about them too. You have to know what they can eat, what they can't eat. You have to understand they have no depth perception, because they can have, I had many, I don't know, probably 20 years ago, 15, 20 years ago, I had one that got out on the balcony and fell from the balcony to the ground. Fortunately, it was on grass. He did not hurt himself. And so they can fall out of wind if any way. Like we had one
Yeah.
that there was a vent that was somehow taken off and fell into the heating system. Fortunately, it was summer, so it wasn't on. So we had to find a way to get him out of there. We had one that chewed through a wall in the kitchen that got into the wall system. We had to poke a hole in the wall in the lower level to let her chew her way out. So I'll be interested if anybody ever has to tear that house apart, the house that we initially had them in, to see what they would find behind the walls.
That
you
would
not
be
know?
very, very interesting find.
Yeah. Right.
Oh, how'd that hole get here? I'm a prairie dog.
Right. We also, one of my favorite stories, we had one named Scooby, again, like 15 years ago. And we would let them roam around the house when we were watching them. And he was sitting on the back of the couch where he could see out the window. And he was just sitting there very calmly. And there was this fly flying around. And I was like, oh, okay, what's going to happen now? He literally grabbed that fly, bit its head off, and threw it down, and then just kept looking out the window. I was like, what
Really?
just happened?
So to have no depth perception, but can do that.
Right? Yeah, amazing. Yeah, and was it Elijah that's wanting to get a prairie dog?
Elias, yes.
Elias. Well, make sure you
Yes,
don't have any
creative
big potted
reptiles.
plants. Big potted plants. We came home one day and our plant looked like this because the prairie dog had dug all the dirt out of the plant.
I mean, they do dig, so that
Yes.
that checks.
Yes.
That checks
Yes,
out.
they do. We've given them like bins full of like sand before that have been contained because you don't want that sand everywhere. But our ideal is that at the next home, we'll not only have an inside enclosure, but we'll have an outside enclosure where we dig like down several feet and bury a cage so that they can't get through it, but then put the dirt back in so that they can tunnel and things like that. So in the warmer months, they can go outside and in a protected environment, enjoy their kind of natural habitat. Because once you have them as a pet, you can't put them back into the wild. Like
No.
we've seen people that are like, oh, I don't want it anymore. I'll just let it, outside. Well, they're not from Illinois. They don't know what to do. And they've always been captive. So you can't,
Right.
make them learn their wild behaviors again.
Yeah, too many people do that with all kinds of animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tragic.
Yeah.
Yeah. it
For-
is.
Fortunately, our friends that used to be a rescue, the husband, well, they were both police officers, but the husband was known for the prairie dogs. And in their town one day, they found a prairie dog in a window well. And so they called him up and said, we got to get Bobby over here. He's got to get this prairie dog out. And then they kept it. So he got a good home.
There you go. Well, that's good. Good.
Yeah.
At least he found a good home.
Yeah.
Well, Heather, I thank you for joining us today. It was a lot of fun. I've learned a few things. I would love to have a prairie dog, but yeah, there's with all of the guests that I've had, I have a list of the animals that I want, and unfortunately, my property is not big enough for all of them.
Well, thank you for having us and letting us share some of our knowledge on prairie dogs. We truly do love them.
Yes, absolutely. And we love that you love them and keep sharing that knowledge. Where can everybody find you so they can keep up with all the kids?
Yeah, probably the TikTok prairie dog lover is what I keep most of it on.
Okay.
So they can contact me through there for any of the other socials that I have. But that's
Great.
where that's kind of devoted to, like, each of my socials is devoted to kind of something else. So like the TikTok is prairie dogs. Some of my other hobbies are on other socials.
Gotcha. Very good. Well, we will definitely be watching. The videos crack me up though, especially what I said with the little face up against the cage. I'm like, oh, that poor baby.
If he wasn't so mean sometimes, he could get out more. But
Yeah, I understand. I understand.
but I like my
there's-
fingers too much.
There's some people that I wouldn't mind putting in a cage because of some, I can't do that.
Very true.
But thank you again for joining us. Absolutely appreciate you being here today.
Thank
Don.
you. Thank you. We appreciate you.
You're very welcome. And thank you to everybody that came through the chat today. Thank you for being here. Thank you for tuning in. If there are anybody that's here that's not regularly here that didn't say hi, it's okay. And thank you for being here. We would certainly appreciate you. Anybody, again, that is watching the replay, leave a comment, #ReplayGang. You know, we like that. I like that. YouTube like that. You know, Whiskey Nation likes that. Thank you, Elias. You got to get on the research. Get on the research, all right? Prairie dog proof your house. I can't wait to hear about it. I cannot wait to hear about it. But everybody, thank you for being here with us today. Absolutely appreciate each and every one of you. And always remember to be yourself, believe in who you are. If you don't believe in yourself, why should anyone else? I love you. Have an awesome week. Peace and be wild. And just look at me.
Dearly beloved, we are here to talk about this thing called keepers. Keeper means forever, and forever is a mighty long time.